Alright, what up guys? I'm gonna bring a how to build your Guardian video together. Um, so in the games I've been seeing when I'm not playing a Guardian or when I'm not playing a Warrior, those two usually aren't building correctly. They're building very selfishly, they don't peel, they're just all around terrible Guardians or terrible Warriors. Not saying that they're bad players, they're just not playing their role how they're supposed to be played. So what I'm going to do is do a general video on how to do Guardians, or how to build Guardians. Now each Guardian's a little bit different, like with passives and stuff. So you would build each one a little bit differently, but these are like the key components that you need on every Guardian, regardless of where you're playing. Even if you're going to go damage build Guardian, you still need these roles or these pieces, these items on the Guardian. So what we're going to do is we're going to do Bacchus.
King, baby.
I have him Diamond. I play him a lot. He's one of my favorite Guardians. Great peel, great just all around. Just in general, a really good Guardian. It's like my go-to pick. He's also banned a lot in ranked Joust, not so much Conquest, as I can't speak on why in Conquest because I'm not really a Conquest guy myself. I do play occasionally, even some ranked, but in Joust he's always banned just because he's super good. The lane, just in laning phase and mid game, late game, doesn't really fall off, and he's like almost unkillable because of his one.
The king is in the house.
So while you're playing, you basically want to level up your one, which is your square first, because that's like a free defensive item. Get all the way to 20. Alright, so you level up his one. So the drunkometer means the more you take a sip, the fuller his thirsty tipsy smashed meter is gonna fill up. So at max rank, one sip is gonna fill it up 41%. And with each rank it goes up, so you're getting an extra 15 physical and magical protections. Tipsy gains 10 magical power and 7% damage mitigation, Smash 30 magical power and 14% damage mitigation. So it's a virtually free item when you level it up. Now his 2 is really good. It provides a slow, it's a knock up too, and the damage on it is pretty good, especially like mid to late. And you can hit multiple targets with it too, not just one, just to knock up a certain one with the most health or defense or whatever. His 3 is really good. It is a stun and a healing debuff. So if they have a healing comp, Bacchus is a really good pick to go to. And his ult, super good. Scaling on it's pretty good. As you can see, it jumps all the way from 250 to 325. So it's going up by 75 each time it's leveled up, with a max of 550 plus whatever item that you have it on. If you're playing against a super strong mage, like the new god Baron, the ult's really good on because it reduces their power. Zeus, just any magical god really, which they're all pretty strong in this meta this season. So I did a little custom build real quick. So what you would do, let's say you're playing Conquest or Clash or even Joust, you know, it's all virtually the same, or at least I play it the same. Now it works in Joust, it works in Clash, it works in Siege, Assault, not so much Assault, but you know, Clash, Siege, and Joust. Now Conquest is a little bit different, seeing as I don't play it that much. I'm not really going to speak on it, but I think it's virtually the same thing, and I always carry it over in casuals when I play casual Conquest. So you always want to get Guardian's Blessing. Don't kill the minions. Best way to do that is you be the first one to hit them, and then your carry or mage will finish the minions off. I see a lot of Guardians, they'll go in afterwards, after the carry or the mage has already used an ability, and then you'll go in with a Guardian, and then you'll do your combo, but you kill him. It takes longer to stack your Guardian's Blessing. And you want them, if they're stacking you or whatever the case may be, you want them to get that farm. You want them to level up. You're always going to be under leveled most of the time. You're always going to have one less item than everyone else, except for the other Guardian on the other team. Unless you're a really good Guardian, you can keep pace, get a lot of farm, split camps if the jungler isn't being stingy, or the mid laner or solo laner, basically you just want to be letting them get their farm, because you're already tanky and built to take hits. So here's the core items that you always want to get no matter what you're doing. If you're going to go damage or whatever, you want to get these core items. So you got Heartward Amulet, 55 magical protection, 250 health. The aura on it is why you need it. Ally guides within 70 units have their magical protections increased by 15 and their MP5 increased by 20. So you just being by one of your allies gives them 15 magical protection. So that's always a go-to. And Sovereign, same thing, but it's with physical. As that gives you 55 magical protections, 250 health. This gives you 250 health, 45 magical protections. So same thing, just with less physical protection. And it gives them 15 physical protection and HP 5 by 25. So with these two items, you're going to build them, both of them. So it just depends on what you're going up against. Let's say you're in Joust, and they have double magical and a physical. You're most likely going to build Heartward first, because you want to rush that. You want to have that magical protection chart from the get-go. Because right from the get-go, you're getting 15 magical protection. So they're already going to be doing less damage, because they have no pin. So they're just going to be doing base damage to you, pretty much. And you're going to have pots to sustain you. You already get 75 health. And then you have the Guardian's Blessing on you, too. You get the MP5, you got the HP, you got the 100 health, and you got 5 physical and magical protection. So you already got 20 magical protection out of the gate with 5 physical. Or, vice versa, they got 2 physicals, 1 magical, you go Sovereign. Well, okay, you asked me, oh, okay, they got 1 magical and 2 physical, but that magical is really OP early game. That's when you would rush Heartward. If you're going against a Zeus, or just any mage that you know is really going to frag mid game. Once they get one item online, they'll start fragging. Or if you recognize the name from ranked or whatever, you rush Heartward. But typically you stick to the rule of 2 physical, go Sovereign, 2 magical, go to Heartward. So how you build this is go to T1, and then after that you have a little bit of gold left to buy some pots. So you'll buy like 3 health pots, 2 mana, or 2 health, 3 mana, and you just sustain yourself. And then you go into boots. You would rush boots. So you can either go reinforced shoes, but I always go cooldown, because you don't really have a lot of cooldown in your build as it is. So that extra 10% in that mana is really going to leap you forward a lot, because you don't have really any items for mana. It's mostly health and protections. Then you would go back and finish Heartward. Okay, what about Pestilence? Okay, so let's say they have a good healing comp, or they have like a Hell that's really on point, or a Changa, or just their whole team they can heal themselves. You would rush Pestilence instead of Heartward. So you're reducing their healing by 25%, and on Bacchus that's really good, because you gotta remember this 3 is already doing 50% debuff. So with Pestilence in that, you're reducing their healing by 75% early game, like just on the point. They're not healing for shit. And now your ADC or your mage can either get Divine or Toxic Blade or something like that and reduce their healing altogether. It's not necessarily prudent that they get that, because you're playing Bacchus and you already have 50% healing debuff. So you can either go Pestilence and reduce that healing almost altogether, or you can rush Heartward, because you're already at 50%, which is better than that. And you're already giving them magical protections with that. So it kind of just depends. So after you did that, you would go into either Sovereignty, or you could start your Gauntlet of Thebes. So with this, the same thing, you don't want to kill the minions. You just want to be nearby. Stacks provide 1 physical and magical protection. At 50 stacks, this item evolves, providing an aura of 10 physical protection and 10 magical protection. So you're adding more protections to your teammates, and it's giving you 200 health and more HP 5. So it just really kind of depends. If their enemy ADC is really fragging you guys, or just chewing through your teammates or whatever, you can go into Sovereignty. I don't really build Gauntlet of Thieves in Joust because it's kind of hard to just. It's kind of pointless, pretty much. The game's really short. You can just back. It's not like you gotta walk a mile back into the lane. So normally I would just, build a Pestilence or Midgardian. So Midgardian, what that does is 300 health, 40 protection. Enemy gods that land a basic attack on you has their attack speed reduced by 10% for 2 seconds, and it can stack up to 3 times and stack with other slow effects. So it would, stack with his 2, which is a slow. So you would have, double the slow. So which really sucks for the ADC, because after they use their abilities or whatever, they kind of auto attack, so it's slowing them down. That's when you kind of just focus the ADC a little bit, or even the mage or whoever, because they're slow and they have that disadvantage. So you can go into that. So you can realize you got 2 slots open. You got the last slot and the first slot. So those are kind of open up to whatever you think that you need. A lot of times I would go a little damage, just because Bacchus and your Guardians and you frag, you're unkillable, you can do a lot of damage. So you can either go Gemma ISO or E-Staff, or, where is it at? Chronos Pennant. You get used in your ult a lot, which you don't really need, because lately a lot of the Guardians, I think, have had their cooldown reduced. So I know Kumba did a couple patches ago, so his cooldown is super low. It's like almost on raw status, where he gets his ult like every 45 seconds, which is super ridiculous, especially if you have cooldown items. You're getting that every 30 seconds. In Bacchus or in Kumba, that's disgusting. You're just like completely dumb, and you just miss your ult with Kumba every time. Or you can pick up a Spear of Magus if you realize your mage hasn't picked one up, because it reduces their magical protections by 10 for 5 seconds. Which I would hope a mage would pick that up, because that's kind of what they need. Or you can get Soul Reaver. It's 130 magical power, 300 mana. You're going to take 10% of their max health, in addition to true damage. Once every 40 seconds. So that's kind of open up. But if you realize you're still lacking, you could always pick up a robe. Robes are always really good to pick up. They give you cooldown, magical, and physical protections, and a good passive. If I can find where the robes are at. Oh, there we go. I usually go Mantle of Discord, 60 magical, 60 physical, 10% cooldown. The passive on it, if you fall below 30 health, you can unleash a shockwave that stuns all enemies within range of 20 units for 1 second. And you gain CC immunity for 1 second. Only happens every 90 seconds. Really good item to pick up. I don't always pick it up, but if I realize there's not a lot of damage happening with my teammates putting in that work, I would pick it up, because it would save your ass, basically. It'll let you get out of there.
All decked out.
So it's kind of relies on whether you trust your teammates or not, or you realize they're just chewing through you. They have a lot of pin, a lot of damage going on. Even with your build, a lot of times they'll still chew through you, even if you have a good build. Sometimes you might just be underleveled. Now, another item that's good, which is HP 5, is Stone of Gaia. It's 400 health, 25 HP 5, 15 MP 5. So you would normally pick this up if they have a lot of knockups, knockbacks, pull, or grabs. If they have a lot of CC, this is probably really good to pick up. because you gain 15% of your max health over the next 10 seconds. Only happens every 60 seconds. And the other passive on it regenerates 0.3% of your max health every second. So it's a really good early item. If you feel like you're going to get CC'd a lot, if you jump in and they just CC chain you, you probably want to pick this up. Or you can just pick it up late game, or probably mid game. You know, instead of picking up Midgardian, you can pick up Stone of Gaia. Instead of picking up Mental Discord, pick up Stone of Gaia and get Mental Discord last, which would put it in the first item slot. So with all these items on, you're sitting at 3,400 health with 1,250 mana. You have 239 physical protection and 178 magical protection. So, okay, you ask yourself, why is my magical protection less than my physical? Normally, when you're playing a game, there's 2 magical and there's 3 physical. In like Clash, Conquest, you know, if they're playing one of each, there's always going to be more physicals than there is magical. You know, you get, I think, ADC, Jungler, and Warrior. There's normally one of those. And then Guardian and Mage, which is magical. So you almost always want to have more physical protections than magical. Now, if it's the other way around, you can pick up more magical protections. So instead of getting Midgardian, you could get a Shogun's or a Genji's. Both really good items, cooldown, MP5, health. When you take magical damage from abilities, your cooldown is reduced by 3 seconds. Only happens every 30. Really good item to pick up. Goes really great on warriors. Shoguns, 60, 20 MP5, 10% cooldown, and 20% crowd control reductions. And allies have their attack speed increased by 20 units in the same, or 20% in a 70 unit radius. So you gotta play it by ear, see how things go, and go from there. So you can, but you're always gonna build these 3 items, no matter what. And then afterwards, you can go be a bully and just combo them and try to kill them with damage items like E-Staff, Soul Reaver, and then a pin item. But with that, your survivability goes down. If you die, your teammates are pretty open season, especially if you don't kill no one, like carry an ADC or carry a mage. You know, they're pretty much open season. So relics, it's really opened up to whatever. If they have a lot of slows, you know, pick up sprint. But if you're playing Conquest, a lot of pros do is they'll pick up T2 and get that early pressure, you know, because it gives you a hasten effect for X amount of time, which is 5 seconds. So, yeah, and then it makes you immune to slows. So if they have a lot of slows on the other team, you can pick this up to save your team to disengage or engage. And then you can pick up Magic Shell for your second relic, or even your first. It doesn't necessarily have to be your second. So your first relics you really want to focus on getting is Sprint, Magic Shell, or Horrific. Horrific slows them, then upgraded, their damage dealt is reduced by 20%, and their attack speed is reduced by 25 at T1. And then T2 for Magic Shell is all allies receive 2 stacks of block, absorbing the next 2 basic attacks. So it's a really good item. Now for your second relic, if they still have a lot of healing, you can pick up an Ankh. But you're already, if they have a lot of healing, you're already gonna build Pestilence, and there should be a Divine Ruin, a Beat Stick, or whatever. So that shouldn't really be a problem. So it's kind of open up to you. You can get Thorns, which is just reflects back, or you can get Blink and just blink in and combo with your ult burp, and then get out with your jump. Or like with Ares, you can blink in ult, you know, and hopefully just get follow up. Or with Cerberus, blink ult, you know, do your combo and then get out, and then re-engage. It's really up to you. So you're usually just gonna focus when you jump in. Because you want to CC chain them. knock them up, stunned, right? And then hopefully there's good follow-up. That's with any god. So if you're playing Ares, Cerberus, Ymir, just any guardian, you wanna combo and get that CC chain going. So hopefully this helps you guys with your guardian build. I can show you what I would build if I was going damage instead of tanky. Oops, I didn't mean to sell that.
Digging it.
Actually, I'm gonna sell it all. So your build would look like this. Wrong way.
All decked out.
So you can get Chronos Pendant or Soul Reaver, 100 power with 20% cooldown. So that would put you at 40 with 20 MP5. But Soul Reaver is probably just a better pickup. If I could find it.
Taking care of business.
And you should be able to just easily one-shot someone. I mean, this Raw is like already dead, but we'll give it a shot. And I don't have my tipsy jar picked up yet. And you should be able to kill the mage or ADC like that, unless they dash out or anything. But you want to try to land your jump or chains or stun, whatever it may be. So hopefully this helps you guys. If you have any questions, just leave a comment or message me and I'll try to get back to you. Check that out.